Hello children, Shubha teacher here. This video is the continuation of chapter flower. In the previous video, you had learnt about flower and its parts, floral structures, bracts, nectaries, perianth, and sexuality in flowers. Let's proceed with the further part of the lesson. We'll start with the floral structures in detail. The first floral structure in a flower is calyx. It consists of generally 5 sepals. The sepals may be either fused or free. Here are the figures which shows 4 sepals here. The first one is showing 4 sepals which are free in condition. The same free sepals are shown here in rose flower. Such a condition when the sepals are free is termed as polysepalous. Here the sepals are shown fused but the tips of the sepals are free. In this figure, the sepals are fused till the tip. So the fused state of sepals is termed as gamosepalous. We see the same fused state of sepals in hibiscus flower also, but apart from it, we have another set of sepals present in hibiscus flower which is called as epicalyx. But there is a difference between the calyx and epicalyx present here. Epicalyx is showing polysepalous condition, but calyx is showing gamosepalous condition. Now, one more thing to be noted is that sepals all are green in color because of the presence of chlorophyll in them, and therefore sepals carry out photosynthesis process. Sepals carry out another function. Since they are outermost in a flower, so they protect the internal parts when the flower is in bud condition. The next floral structure in a flower is corolla. Corolla consists of generally 5 petals. Again, their number also varies from flower to flower. They are also fused or free. When the petals are free, they are termed as polypetalous. When the petals are fused, they are termed as gamopetalous. Petals generally are brightly colored to attract the insects for pollination. Now, pollination is a term which will be explained to you in the next chapter. It is an activity which is carried out for the completion of process of reproduction in plants. Let's proceed. Another function of corolla is that they protect stamen and pistil because stamen and pistil is present inner to it, almost at the center of a flower. So thus corolla helps the flower in 2 ways. It helps in carrying out pollination process and it protects stamens and pistils. The next floral structure in a flower is androecium. Androecium makes the male part of a plant. It consists of stamens in varying numbers. Each stamen looks like this. It has got 2 parts, the long elongated filament and club-shaped anther at the tip of each filament. Internally, anther has got 4 compartments called as pollen sac. Each pollen sac has got many pollen grains inside it, and pollen grains have male gamete within. Stamens are also in different forms. They are either free as shown in this flower. The free condition of stamens is termed as polyandrous. And when they are fused in a different form. They are grouped in such a way that the filaments are fused together to form one group with anthers remaining free. This is the one single group of stamens in hibiscus flower, where all the filaments, there are numerous stamens you see here, and the filaments of all the stamens are fused to form one staminal tube. Such a condition, when the stamens are fused into one group, is termed as monadelphous condition. This is a pea flower which is showing stamens in 2 groups. One group is having 9 stamens together and one is separate. So therefore, this condition when the stamens are in 2 groups is termed as diadelphous. Here is the figure of bombax flower. It is having stamens in many groups at the center. Such a condition when the stamens are in many groups is termed as polyadelphous. We move on to the last floral structure in flower, that is gynoecium. Gynoecium makes the female part of a flower. It consists of one or more carpel present in it. Each carpel has three parts: stigma, style, and ovary. You can see the location of carpel here, right at the center of a flower. Here are two carpels shown of two different flowers, each having stigma, style, and ovary. But the stigma of these two are different. Here the stigma is as one whole, but here the same stigma is divided into five parts. Style is the same, and ovary is the swollen base of carpel. This is showing the internal structure of carpel. Internally, the outer line is showing the ovary wall, and oval structures, brown colored structures which you see here, are the ovules. These ovules are attached to the ovary wall by a tissue, cushion like tissue, right, acting as a bed of the ovary, is called as placenta. Let's talk about sexuality in plants. Normally, plants have flowers which are bisexual. That is, they have both the floral structures, both the sexual parts, essential parts, stamens, and pistil present in it. There are plants which have male and female flowers growing separately, either in the same plant or in different plants. Depending on that, plants are monoecious and dioecious. Monoecious plants are those which have male and female flowers growing separately on the same plant. These are the two flowers of pumpkin plant growing in the same plant. This is a male flower, that is staminate flower, and here is the female flower, pistillate flower, because we see here the vegetable growing at the base of the flower. Here are two plants of papaya. These are the examples of dioecious plant. Here you see there are many flowers in this plant, but fruit formation hasn't taken place. It means this plant is a male plant. It contains only staminate flowers in it. But this papaya plant is having flowers and fruits formed. So thus, this plant is a female plant having pistillate flowers. So thus, papaya plant is a dioecious plant because it has got male and female flowers growing on different plants. We move on to inflorescence, placenta, and placentation. These terms are to be known only by definition at your level. Let's talk about it. Inflorescence, the mode of arrangement of flowers on the axis of a plant. If you observe different flowering plants in your garden, you will see that the position of flowers on the axis of a plant is not same. They are differently positioned in plants. This mode of arrangement of flowers on the axis of a plant is termed as inflorescence. There are different kinds of 8 kinds of inflorescence shown here in this figure, and each inflorescence has got a separate name which you don't need to know at this level. In your higher classes, you need to know by the name of each inflorescence. But let's understand the red circular structures which are shown in all these figures are showing depicting flowers, and green is showing the stem, main stem with the side branches. So thus we can understand that the position of flowers in the axis of stem is different in different plants. Placenta. Placenta is the cushion-like tissue inside the ovary to which ovules are attached. I had already shown you the placenta in the previous slide. Placentation. Now, if you observe these two figures, these are the cross-section view of ovaries of two different flowering plants. Here yellow colored structures are the ovules and here red colored structures are the ovules. So we can understand that the position of ovules in ovaries are different. So thus arrangement of placenta and ovules inside the ovary is termed as placentation. With this, we come to the end of today's video and we also come to the end of the chapter flower. Let's do a quick recap. Today you learnt about the floral structures in detail, various forms of calyx, corolla and stamens, sexuality in plants, placenta, placentation and inflorescence. As I have instructed you in the previous videos, go through the videos few number of times, read the lesson thoroughly in detail, solve the back exercise questions, and in diagrams you need to know the labeled diagram of internal structure of flower in this lesson. That's all for today, children. Thank you and take care.